Iko sawa? Wetoa hiyo Simba Street. Unaweka vitu mingi baby. The last one.
Simba Street is where is the home of bunge la mwananchi.
Umetoa? That is a home of bunge la mwananchi.
Pale kwa takataka.
That noise, we must handle it.
Where is it coming from? The phone? Static.
Maybe, I don't know. How is it now? It is picking your sound.
Static.
Yes. Tukitoa hiyo, let us see how it works. Let's see how that works. Hello? Hello, hello? Hello? If it's giving us a headache, you just have to move forward so that we use the camera direct. Yes. Kuliko tuko na kelele mingi na itusaidi. So then you remove this. Just where's the microphone? Hello. Hello. Yeah, ni better. Yeah. Or maybe vitu betri iko chini. Naona iko line. Nafikiri maybe iko chini. So if you are good to go, we can start. Realize bado iko na bado iko. Let's just start. Time is not on our side. Siende mbali sana, wakili doesn't shout. Nisikia?
Yeah.
Wakili doesn't shout, so siende songa mbele.
Nile tu
songa mbele. Wakili wa shout. Unafikiria songa, just pick the two seats. Songa tena. So kelele ni crazy vipi? things ndo maybe zinaleta kelele. Okay. So let's hope that
the static of the generator.
Maybe the generator
transmitting itself into the microphones.
Switch off these ones.
I think there are sections of Bungoma.
Yeah. But I'm just getting a call from home. I think they're going to steam in by. So just confirm that sauti iko sawa.
Storage. Storage.
Sawa, but sauti iko sawa.
Yeah.
Are you sure that sound is okay? Sound iko sawa? Okay. I'm concerned for that. If you'll be audible enough. You're not used to shouting.
You need me to shout?
Somehow. Not to shout, but to speak up.
Oh, that one I will do.
That
So
one.
long as it's not for more than 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay. So we can try and do 1 hour.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So oops.
The generator's fuel has gone. The generator's fuel. Have you switched off the mic? I need to speak on phone.
No, the mic is not on. It is not on.
You're sure?
Yes. Okay. Okay, guys, that is an acute blackout. We just experienced. Ni sauti hakuna kabisa. What is happening there? Hakuna sauti kabisa. Nothing. The way people are anxiously waiting for it.
Are they?
Yeah.
How come yesterday I was the only one watching live?
I see. People are.
I can't see.
Oh, this is Facebook.
Yeah.
This is Facebook.
You can see the numbers.
Yes.
How many?
It is going down. It's now at 47. Sound imekata. What is happening today?
And just when you have a very high value interviewee.
Imagine.
Is it still on generator or mains?
I think maybe it's the generator that is bringing us. Unajua kama jana nili restart na ikawaka. That noise. Hebu toa simu yako hapa. Something is not working. still same noise. Do you know nimezima nimewasha and still I just want to know whether we can. So ladies and gentlemen, we are having a series of issues, if not power blackouts. It looks like leo ndio ile siku tunakutana na mashida zote zikiambatana. Leo ndio ile siku mashida zote zinakuja zikifuatana. Inaacha kelele.
Earphones. Earphones.
What?
Earphones.
No, still unajua inatumia jiweka hii. Hello?
Lakini
maacha kelele. My concern is sasa audibility yake.
I'll shout a bit.
You shout a bit. Okay.
Yeah, okay, now speaker.
And speaker. Then we just do it. Usiweke ile ni hapa zile. Sawa. Okay. Wow. Hello everybody. Poleni sana for what we've just encountered. As I said earlier, my issues zimefuatana. Kama sio kuanza late ni challenge ya power. Muona ka blackout kametupata tu tukiwa hapa. Yeah, and our good guest arrived earlier than us actually. And we are grateful for that. Pole sana wakili. Maybe we will dive straight into the topic of the day. My name is Edward Omalo Simiyu. I'm the host, and today we are blessed to have Wakili Makhakara, who we hope that he is going to share with us his knowledge and wisdom on matters Bungoma. So maybe tutaanza tu na introduction. Wakili atuambie vizuri majina yake, hata ikiwezekana zile nicknames zake za utoto akiguru, where he grew from, where he came from, his basically his background.
Okay. I thought we were talking about Bungoma politics.
We will start.
I hope we will not talk about me.
After.
Bana nga bali Makhakara. Makhakara ino isinalie basonge. Lakini samwene omunambo bebuwa makiboji kuya bwake. But I live in Bungoma. In the very early 60s, I was born in Kitale, Bondeni, Block 7, in town. Went to school in Kitale School. Nje Kericho, ndo bali Kabianga.
Are you sure tuko na sound?
I stopped.
Yeah, I think we don't have sound. Hello? We do? Okay.
Proceed.
Because clearly on my phone there is no sound.
Sounding for.
There is no sound on my phone. Check on the yellow box pali. Activate it and because we
Ninakusikia.
hello. Okay, now it's good. So, thank you, Papa.
Do I start that again?
Yes, please.
Okay. I had said, and perhaps let me repeat. Ese bana bali Makhakara. Papa wase bali wasirwa. English name is Henry. I prefer to as Makhakara. There are very many Wasiruas in Bungoma. So you asked me where I was born?
Yes.
I was born in Kitale, Bondeni, Block 7, in town. Grew up there, went to school in Kitale School, and later in Kabianga in Kericho, and the University of Nairobi. That is the early 60s. In the 70s, I lived in Bungoma here, the county council houses. In the 80s, I spent most of my time in Kericho. And in the 90s, I had started my trade until about 6 years ago in Kisumu. I moved back to Bungoma. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So that is it. And you had called and told me that you wanted to speak about Bungoma. Bungoma is such a wide topic because it has its history, it has its economics, its struggles, and so on and so forth. I don't know whether you're linking Bungoma with politics and you want to focus on politics.
Yes.
Politics is the competition for extremely scarce resources. Vile jamii zinajikimu, whether as households or as business, enterprise, or trades, or the professions. So that harakati ya compete for resources, food, shelter, clothing, health, medical, shule, is what generates politics. And people emerge to control that process. In the early 60s, if you permit me, the people who emerged to lead Bungoma in its stewardship of public resources include the late Nathan Munoko, who was the first senator. You know, that time we had a senate, but the senate was in Kakamega.
Okay.
So he was the senator for Bungoma. He later on, when the senate was abolished, he became the member of parliament for Bungoma Central. His contemporaries were George Kere, who died in a car crash, I think in 1965. George Kere was succeeded by Msahuru Joseph Haoya.
Who became a politician, an MP?
Yes. He was an MP.
Okay.
After George Kere.
Oh, you know why I'm saying that is because you started by saying he was in Senate.
Yes. There was only one senator.
Okay.
Representing our region called Bungoma. That senator in 1963, when I think I was about 1 year old, was called Nathan Munoko. They abolished the Senate after that. There were many constitutional changes. So when they abolished the changes, the Senate, he became the member of parliament for Bungoma Central. Bungoma Central is this region going towards Essex.
Okay.
And others. That was the first generation. The second generation in the 70s, I'm sure you know Joseph Haoya, most better known, and his ilk. The third generation of leaders after that was the Elijah Mwangales of those days. Elijah Mwangale was a fairly dominant political center of gravity. But his leadership then in the single party days rubbed the leadership of Bungoma South the wrong way, and there was a lot of conflict. Asahuru bakina Masinde, Captain, I'm talking about Frederick Masinde.
Yes.
George Captain, who was never elected in Bungoma. They rejected him, but na cheru kitali scheme, and he got elected. But he, his shadow was somewhere in Bungoma. So was Masinde. Wabuge was a leader in Trans Nzoia, but his shadow never came here. Omusaba.
Yes.
So that generation saw quite a bit of momentous development in terms of industry. Around 1978, now, there was a leadership conference in Bungoma that has never really been documented very well. That leadership conference, I think under the umbrella of Bungoma County Council leadership, brought together a number of luminaries who wanted certain public interest things to be secured for the future of Bungoma. Amongst them were fairly well-known leaders, and one of the key outcomes was Nzoia Sugar, the 441 acres of land in Sangalo, and a few other things, but specifically Nzoia Sugar. Bungoma then became partly industrialized because they would take sugar cane and convert it into sugar. So there was a sub-economy around Enandoli. People were, removed from their African land, and some went to Trans Nzoia, some went outside, and Nandolia, and Yarusi, and so on and so forth, to create the nucleus for Nzoia Sugar. It's not very clear how those three large parcels of land were paid for, but Treasury was involved, and they compensated the people who were removed to ensure that there was that nucleus land. To our, is it west or east, there was Mumias, and so on and so forth. That sub-economy around sugar survived for about 20 to 30 years. It then saw the next generation of leadership of Kombo and my clansmate Kitui, Lawrence Ifuna. We are now seeing something like Omuibone Kenya Huibura. I think we are witnessing a transition of leadership, because the people who had some influence in the early 80s, 90s, included the now fairly influential Moses Masikawe, who is now the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly. And he has been around for a long time. Bungoma politics is not going to wish him away, because he has wealth, he has networks, he has a political party under his control, and he has a link to the national formation of politics. Yani ane kumusumbuwe nga kinende kumusumbuana. But I dare say that cadre of leadership is facing quite some competition from Erika Yenywe. Will he ride over the storm that is brewing from this competition for control of the grassroots of Bungoma, I don't know. I have no opinion. But I have told you, Honorable Moses Masika Wetangula has money, has kumunwa amanyire huru maroma chiromo. Joba kusubenya bawulire. Baruye. He has networks, ane kumusumbwinga akia nende bond with the people. Ne baruma na aroma mane bandu. Akini rika yenywera hakanga humwe pamu
When kesen
rika yenywe,
maybe naturally,
and some people from this county and outside are leading a push to control opportunity and the distribution of resources, both at the county and nationally. And when you are talking about resources, yani ko every household yenyerie efare nerwara enyore busirihi and many other amenities. So in a cluster of needs, Bungoma households require food, shelter, clothing, medicine, busomi, and productivity. But clustered in the county and national priorities is first and foremost social services, which include busomi, water provision, sanitation, and health care. By the social services. That's the first cluster. The second cluster is productivity. Yani ko, how do we generate food and other needs for ourselves in the household and in the market, supermarket. That productivity in the county lens of productivity is agriculture, livestock, fisheries, irrigation, and cooperative development. Of course, there is the other cluster of energy access and trade. Lastly, infrastructure. Yani chingira, chitaraja, and individuana vile. So hapo nata. So that competition for distribution of these resources in the three clusters is what generates politics. I have memories of Bungoma North, that time Elijah Mangare trying to load it over. I was a very, very close disciple of Elijah Mangare those days. Hata kanda honema ekura in 1997 ebumura na kwasikira bele bantu bamanyire ate spelling ya kanurwe umure. Lawrence was elected, Sifuna. He beat us by miles. He got elected. No, both at the national level and at the county level. Bibintu bine ebyo binakiranga bandu ne barura puro machiro mocha governance and fwe kunyora kuriena uyeti kwa makusikari and so on and so forth. That conversation is what the politics of Bungoma is. And you have asked me which way forward. You can't say which way forward and answer it before you describe the problem of the present. And the problem of the present, elimbo leadership ya mahuba in the previous generation is struggling to ensure that it dominates the control of resources in Bungoma and outside. So the question would be asked, In terms of social services, yani education, health, water, sanitation nende bintu bifana bira. Wewe niye wikhara awo nende mukabwa sina in the government's investment in education, for example. Let's focus on education. Education has serious problems because of the government's decision to keep capitation very low. Perhaps presently about 15,000. It was supposed to go up to 20-something thousand. Nono bikulise bine bunyali bwe kulinda babana burayi nga Kenya kana ta. The higher education funding model has challenges. But all this is because sirikali se nechilingi chitosya bibintu binota. Elinende chi plans ilinende chi budget lakini chisilingisa chili mu treasury. Yani capitation hukwama lunga up to Loitoktok and Mandera and beyond, including Bungoma and the Hasasa region. That is why the budget is about 4 trillion or so, about 3 or 4 trillion. Yes. Nibyo benya kukhola bi. Lakini chisi chenya kana chili far beyond. That is why they want to either tax euros ya chili in the treasury or borrow. I hope that is simplified. So what should the leadership do? Presently her constituency na kunende tisa. Perhaps you can call the women representation another omnibus constituency. That makes it about 10 in addition to the geographical constituencies. They get an average of about 180 to 200 million shillings annually. About 1 billion shillings every year. I mean every 5-year term. It is up to each constituency to look at what the leadership is doing, and there are those who think that if you are near government, either mubusomi na mwe healthcare and so on and so forth. In terms of healthcare, we have serious challenges because the migration from National Health Insurance Fund to SHA has had problems. I personally, I think that it is a good thing for mass registration of people in SHA. It has its teething problems. Yani ko ada no tile mbako no ho limia ho mochirecha tu.
Is it better than NHIF?
Yes, it is much better in terms of volume, in terms of coverage, in terms of the products that it covers. That's my personal view. It's not necessarily a given, and I would encourage everybody to register with SHA. The more, the higher the quality of service to the membership. It has challenges, but by and large, I think SHA is going to sort out access to health. Access to education, we've said there are problems. And what can leadership do? Leadership can break down some of the waste, corruption, and misappropriation, and direct resources towards education, investment in education. And investment in education is basically brick and mortar, that is the schools, ICT, and the manpower, the human resource element in education. Both at ECD, junior school, and on to the universities, second higher education.
Do you think that the government is doing enough in terms of improving the ICT sector? All we see are maybe ECD doing the ECD classes and what have you, and building infrastructures here and there.
Amongst the, no, it is not doing enough. Why should it do more? Because it can knock down waste, corruption, and malappropriation or misappropriation, and focus resources which are very limited to ICT infrastructure. There was a principal secretary for ICT from Bungoma, Professor Edward Siangani. I have never really focused on whether they funded that department enough, but I think it, like all departments, it suffered anemia.
According to me, he underperformed.
I'm not sure it is him who underperformed. It is always Treasury that underperforms. Treasury will spend money on things that Omrosiwe Kusoko Chwele is not interested in. Then they do peanuts for Chwele market, for example. The Chwele market yenya hanebe saine de chicho, even and vito, cold storage, even and abundu niye babandu babanende dignity when they are trading, and many other places like my own Mianga market and Chepkube and Cheptais. And those markets in that produce legumes from Tongaren, they could do more. I always believe that an innovation of expenditure of national resources and county resources could see better infrastructure in ICT, so that their vision babechanga nende plan bali buli ward even in the ICT hubs and so on and so forth. Those could be very useful. But what business can go on ICT hubs if our own productivity is dying? The sugar sector, we are now beginning to see private entrepreneurs taking over the sector in Naitiri, in Zoya, and so on and so forth. Busia down here. The jury is out is whether they will be better than the public sector management of the sugar sector. At the micro level of high value horticultural crops, experts like Wanjala Makanda would tell you that they have tried their bit then. I don't hear quite much about the current administration in the county in agriculture.
I was about to ask you to rate this government on a scale of 0 to 10, or rather 1 to 10.
3 out of 10.
In matters of agriculture?
Yes. Because agriculture is bulimebwe video and cash crops, livestock, irrigation. Which is the last dam the county government undertook in Bungoma County to boost irrigation, for example, so that we move away from rain-fed agriculture? Which one is the last one?
I don't know whether Stavicha is I think Stavicha is a World Bank project.
That is Lake Victoria water something of the 1965s. And then later on, when what is this gentleman from Kitale called? Eugene Wamalwa. Was he a minister for water at one time?
Yes.
They attempted to rehabilitate, like Bungoma South, they wanted to rehabilitate Kimwanga Dam and two others around there. Kimwanga Dam is now dry.
Yeah.
If you've gone there, and I have, the intention was to create water during the dry seasons to enable farmers to continue producing high-value horticultural crops around the Kimwanga Dam. It's dead, and that speaks the story about many other dams. One of the national initiatives was to control the floods of Nzoia Sugar so that downstream doesn't suffer, but also to create multi-purpose uses of water, and that has not happened. Now, in the current administration, I had great admiration for His Excellency Governor Lusaka in Lusaka 1 administration. And because he was setting up systems, he succeeded to that extent. I think he has not been interested too much. He has not been interested in doing too much. I think what he's been interested in doing in Lusaka too is na hayambe to sindu sikhanje ambaho situ siamba siamwa halito. He does not want to be involved in controversy, in competition that brings out his claws, and that guy knows how to fight, but he has decided to walk the middle road. That has made Bungoma suffer in terms of the stewardship of the county resources. That is a very intelligent human being. It's not that he doesn't know what to do with the political economy of Bungoma. He does. But he has to survive and be relevant.
In preparation for transition into national government.
Yes. Whoever is going to be in national government, he wants to be attractive to that formation. He cannot be a governor after 2027. He can only go upstairs and occupy the space there. So I think in his pursuing neutrality in many things, even if he is the deputy party leader of Ford Kenya, but he has decided to be the gentleman of Bungoma politics by not being controversial, by not descending into the arenas of conflict, and so on and so forth, or in the bitter control of the politics of Bungoma and the sub-region, between those who are swept out, like my Bakoki Wamnyi and Seli and my Hocha Wangamati, and the ones who are now dominating Bungoma politics through the dominant party, Ford Kenya. But we have DAPK, which has a good account. But if you are looking at the representation at the grassroots level, how many MCS does Ford Kenya have in the county assembly?
I don't know, they brag of somewhere around 30. I don't know how.
No, elected.
Elected should be.
I know in 2013 there were 14. Ford Kenya. ODM was 14 also. They came together and formed a coalition that produced the majority leader, Mheshimiwa Majimbo Okum. In 2017, somewhere around there, New Ford Kenya discovered that they were the majority. It was not Ford Kenya that was the majority. So when New Ford Kenya discovered that they were the majority in the assembly, in a dispute between Chapo Musakali in court and somebody called Henry Nyongesa became the majority.
You played a very key role at that time.
Let's remove my role and look at the broader issues.
Yes.
So both Ford Kenya, ODM, which now has only one member of the county assembly. What is his name? Ali Mutoka?
Machani.
Yeah, only one. All of these parties have had their fair share of stewardship of the affairs of the county. They have had their fair share of failure and small successes. I would like to encourage those who want to come in.
Is this sugar?
No, I don't. I have this.
Okay.
To look at applying the national criteria of resource allocation. Currently, I think they are allocating 25 million per ward for community empowerment fund. Of course, that is in addition to other line ministry initiatives in the county. There is a little bit of a problem that I have been Chwele Kabuchaini Habachahupa Ekura Mchuri has the highest second highest number of registered voters at 18,000. Second to Kimilili, which has 20,000. Kimilili ward. Then we have other high value voter density wards like Malakisi Kulisiru about 1617, DVC and so on about 1617, Kabchai nearing 16. I mean, what is the Luyabwake and so on and so forth. Then we have Bukembe West, where my friend Honorable Wakili Anthony Lusenak comes from, and Khasoko, which have less than 9,000 voters, but they also get 25 million. Assembly. Of course, there's always a very high turnover. So we assume that the 62 or is it 63, the majority say have a chahuira mu assembly. So those who are joining them should ensure that they quickly force the county executive to start distributing budgetary allocations using the national criteria of revenue allocation.
Based on numbers? Based on population,
geography, poverty index. Then there was a registered voters. Lusenaka is my friend. I didn't register voters who are under 10,000. Why should they be given 25 million like Chwele Kabchai, which has 18,000 voters and a higher population of 40-something thousand, as well as DVC, Malakisi, Rwandanyi, and other high density wards. So something should be changed. One day I asked a technical person within the treasury of the county government, the treasury of county government ikharanga sasa ne boleli buli MC anyole 25 million. Why? That's wrong. That generates injustice, iniquity, unfairness. Sikira nonoko hawo di hano habu Gembe West hanyola 25 million nine sawa nende Kimilili nende.
You have a problem with Gembe West?
I don't have a problem with Honorable Senaka is my friend, but I was his lawyer in the election petition between Chesome and himself, and we won. But I don't have a problem with Senaka or the ward. I am talking about equity of resource allocation. There needs to be equity so that Haraba gets 45 million. Township gets 50 million. Kimilili, which is the highest voter registration, gets 75 million for CEF, and so on and so forth. Then of course, abano bahanyora 25 ngenecho, hakuna shida, but there needs to be a differential and a variable applied using national criteria. That's one. Isn't that politics? The politics iki ndilimboko. In the 9 constituencies, I vote in Bumula Primary School, which is a polling station with the highest number of. I'm not allowed to voice my support for one or my opposition to another.
Yes.
Am I?
If you so wish, you can go ahead.
Currently, I support Jack Wamboka, and I hope he is re-elected. He needs to pull up his socks on implementation of projects, but I support him.
Has he brought some change?
Yes, he has. Yes, there was a little bit of neglect, may I say, by the previous administration when schools and Mechi and those projects which are CDF seemed to have been concentrated across River Mayanja. Mayanja nende Chiwodi Chitaru, Kimaeti, West Bukusu, and Siboti. there was a feeling of Mayanja across, yani Kabra, Hasoko, Bumula, and South Bukus. There was a feeling that there was a little bit of iniquity.
Okay.
But that is for another debate. And I thought that Jack Wamboka has brought quite a bit of change. He is in contact with the grassroots. And I would like him to, in the next 2 years, to concentrate on project implementation and adherence to the set budgets and plans. Kandui is a very complex, very complex constituency. My brother John Makari is doing extremely well in my personal view. But he seems to be facing a lot of challenges from those who want to oust him. He's doing extremely well in distribution of bursaries, as well as managing the very scarce resources of 230 million that he gets every year. But against all those odds, John Makari has done very well. The problem he has is he has decided to be loyal to a party which is facing stiff competition from your generation. On the one hand, there is premium to loyalty and principle. His principle is Papa Roma is the beginning and the end of his political alphabet. There are those who don't view that very nicely. They don't like that. But so what? If ultimately the national formation will include Ford Kenya as a principal partner in the government that will be formed, I don't know which one it will be, then John Makari will be in a good place.
But at least he came out to at least talk against the transfer of level 6 from town to state.
Well, so you don't want to talk about level 6. Do you want to talk about it?
Yes.
Okay. There have been confusing pronouncements on level 6. Let me start with those that I know. If you search for level 6 hospital Bungoma, you'll find it in only 2 places. In the Facebook page here, Right Honorable Speaker of National Assembly, and in the Facebook page and other social media outputs of my very good friend, His Excellency Governor Lusaka. It is not in any other public records. It is not in the 3 volumes of the development votes of the expenditure estimates of the government of Kenya. It is not mentioned in the African Development Bank proposed projects. But now those are the facts. Now let me talk about my personal searches for the level 6 documentation. The cabinet mentions, and there is a little bit of a record, I think, the cabinet of the government of Kenya mentions that they have approved the upgrade of BCRH. BCRH haneni. Yeah, so I don't, it is for you to interpret what upgrade of BCRH is. Nebasiha waandaya father nani. Omukoko wasi the Jews there was a pronouncement by the hospital. We are at members club, so every hospital will be upgraded to level 6. So I quickly went to GOK records on the budget and the plans, including MTF. MTF means the plans across more than 2-3 years. Was 9. The level 6 that I found was, associated with the armed forces level 6. Number 1. Semanya armed forces ngene yo bachakura wide. Niban baskari ne ba umie ne bachaba basirika. They want to upgrade it to level 6. Another one was Madari. Wasumatari kaneliwa
Nairobi.
Iyo bandu baboneka kimirwe nende bali ko nende mental illness. There was some mention there, and I read the development vote 1, development volume 2, development volume 3. Na mweki ndirio babonanga chini babona ya 2026 2027. Yes. I keep hearing sound bites. Oh, we are launching level 6, we are launching. You have to have money to do a level 6. Seringa kukombaka esimba kwitiki ward. You need a lot of money, and it's beyond the capacity of the county government. It's beyond the capacity of the national government. The national government is in pressure projects that it must pay for. So I asked somebody who should know what happens, and this is what he said. Bungoma County Referral Hospital asked the Department of Health, or what people call the Ministry of Health at the national government, to request funding for a level 6 hospital. Let me confirm that I have never seen such records, but I think they exist. So they use a department in Bungoma County Referral. Through the department, because Bungoma County cannot directly write to funders on the continent or elsewhere. So then the user department, which is the Ministry of Health, wrote a letter up to Treasury, the Ministry of Finance. Nemusima mukuenjereho a development partner kuombahire hospital ya level 6 Bungoma, because this one yes yabejange prison. For those who might recall, the hospital yabejange prison, and it has not changed much.
In terms of infrastructure,
in terms of brick and mortar. But Governor Lusaka did very well in bringing in dialysis, the first ambulances, or are they called patient transfer boxes? Because they are not ambulances.
They are not ambulances.
He did quite well. Wangamati Hocha, did very well. Karera, Kachaka, brick and mortar, Mother and Child Hospital, just next to Members Club, next to the Children's Hospital, but it has not been equipped, it has not been funded. So, Treasury, on behalf of the user department here, Ministry of Health, Seyarere Bungoma County Munda, they andike proposal to African Development Bank, AFD. You can go to the website. This is the project proposal. We need so much money, and these are the things we are going to build for level 6 for Bungoma. Whatever way over Hachibata.
As we speak.
No, whether you are launching it, Namwe Maraka, Namwe Marakisi, or where is the other place? They say they are going to launch it in SHA. You're going to have to wait for an answer from AFD. AFDB no chaku website here it has present projects and then proposed projects. The current projects, number 1, in wind harvesting in Turkana. Number 2, kila fulani. Number 3, kame chi project cha bulk water delivery. Number 4, nothing in health in the whole of Kenya. I challenge anybody to contradict me using public documents. And I truly hope that we are going to get this funding from AFD.
I'm not good at
and I would like it to go on record that I have not seen, but murore homo Treasury ya GOK annually lichivu liye proposal to AFD B namweta nene khanyola ta khunatangazi yanga bindu bye khulonja level 6 yes khurrebwene yose.
You know, your own said that this could be just some rhetorics in just cooked for Chwele Kapchai by-election. Because you look at how the meeting at Kibabi University ilikuwa huko, the sentiments largely were like this is not a public participation. Then later on ikaanza kukua, oh now they met, they decided. So I don't know where to place.
I don't think pronunciations and sound bites relating to the sighting of a hospital in where is Chei? KMTC. In which ward is it? You're double sure?
Yeah. Should be. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I come from Duyabwake, so I'm not too sure. But you could be right, I could be wrong. Because it's at the confluence of some road, Dalai Chenambaya, SCH, RCSK, FYM, making the Chema DC. There's something called Madisi. It's that confluence where the Nini is. And by the way, Madisi happens to be in Mukuyuni. Yeah, Makoki Meshak. Wekes. You call him Museveni. Yes. So there's that confluence there which we don't know. But I can tell you, in my personal view, Chiromocha County Referral Hospital, to give hope to people is good. But to use it as a bait for the grassroots to vote in a certain way is not good.
Maybe it's when they are trying and pull those strings. Because
and my personal view, allow me to. My personal view is this. Chwele Kapchai, particularly Mukhweya, was hofu. Yes, yes, I have Bungoma. It is the nerve center of the political party called Ford Kenya, which has succeeded in having a fairly large number of MPs. I never none. Bora Kumi, Catherine Wambiya, John Makhakara, Majimbo Karasinga, John Chikati, who is a member of the budget committee. Niyo kuiba kilo ye hukaba resources mu Kenya. Tanke kabileho milioni 100 hat parapara kilomita 2.5 hukwama wa mufupi hucha Mukuyuni. Fifth one yaba nanu kundi. Waruke anaegemea kwa Ford Kenya. Pepela Martini is a midfielder in Ford Kenya. Wara Kumi. Senator Ino nominated my friend Mhana wa former mayor wa Kwabubi Koni associating herself with Kenya Kwanza, at least in national formation, UDA and the partnership with so Ford Kenya is in those numbers, to the extent of those numbers, fairly dominant. No, Charundi mu County Assembly, the leader of government, leader of majority, Ali wanda yase nyongesa kwa matuti maraka, and the whips and so on and so forth. So to that extent, Ford Kenya still has a grip and controls the thinking of Bungoma. DAPK ichanga hone sonyaho bachire wasengorosa bachire sinemu khoya campaign si eri siarura hoyo siayumba ne bano bosi bachaho mungo one of the candidates emahombe bosi bacha ba mulyango mwe candidate, one of the leading candidates bosi bapamerali lakini bamayo baramusa sindu siyabeti. So no, those are politics, and it is healthy. Was omundu alio Chwele Kapchai wali Vincent Maunda.
Yes.
I know him personally. And don't write him off. He is backed by a huge network of the party and the leadership against the David of the match. So everybody Eric. We hope for a peaceful by-election tomorrow, and kura kwa amani Chenko. Whoever wins, we will embrace him. Hanebe hakuna makwasina ke constituency.
Yes.
Warura kandui kwacha kapchai. Kapchai hekule nyo kwanza. Lewa tira mono nguha kamo. Mount Elgon will largely vote the way President William Ruto will tell them to vote. And omusole ruli yosayi ino bali Fred Cheseveta namusomya form 1 chapter is 1982 namusomya Rusungu geography bindu bibindi form 1 nono khasungu niho ulana arumahara hano
Khaho
sehe no mandi khaseta lakini nabayo na hakeika Usali ordinary. No, yo series ili complex was. Lakini Mr. Ino bahoye bamuranga sabali makoha. Yani makoha muri bukusu sisi ndunzi wa misi muikohe. Hata manakula makoha those who came in your mother's stomach before you. Bafwa si hamale wasaba. Life has pulled you from Niko. No, Mr. Ino was kacha kamenya ho murumare kimiyesi kimikali bisose ne kama ya survive sabindu tu ke tira ho kubwami bwa President Ruto kecha ke yamba ho nende umureberino the Fort Kenya formation and he has survived, so don't write him off. Onyala wakhe bulira ba mu electric mu soleri bingi kasemberi Siuma came a Fort Kenya. But I don't think he listened to political strategy very well. Maraka kwa kasta wikile mungaki. Saa hii manyale alahola arieta. Na ndarwe yesiasa bangaho ebweneyo. A little bit of showmanship that overwhelms his ability to convert his popularity into numbers in the ballot box. Seriously? Kusoleli bakoki kwase waluke kuno. He's still somebody that controls the thinking of the three wards. I don't think we are going to have any adjustment of wards, so that there will still be three. Kandui is complex because it is in three clusters. There is rural Kandui, which is the two Bukembes and the two Sangalos. But in Ijojibi is younger MP. Then there is this confused cluster of Haraba Township and the Musikomo.
Why are you
Wanaringa sana because according to them, okay, two of them are Fort Kenya, one is DFK. Lakini sevesya kanga yo mundu ta my friend kusali kwa se George kwa survive ta lakini samtaoni mun ne musole mwana wa mwalimu wesizo vechanga konende
kabisa
ne Kameru osuta bigire mungaki
lala
don't give up, try again. I say confused because they do not know whether to embrace the ethnic diversity in this town. I remember what was one of the candidates who stood performed fairly well. We thought that the immigrant community are now going to have an MCA in Kimilili town. We anaitwa nani jamaa wetu and another in township. Township we had what was this guy?
Yes?
Karuga. Yes. Karuga, Ben.
Mm.
You know, Kisirisiri, I used to want Ben to come up because I am not sure we've done very well in embracing the diversity of communities in this town. And there could be some advantage in having one of them so that they feel that they are part of the community of Bungoma. No harm in having them, but no manye kabichi kwa mayo kwa fuara green mana kwadri namwita
Blue.
I mean DAPK. Yes. He had been in Fort Kenya. He had been in some other party that time, but now he came to Blue. Na Avira. Wakanakana Avira rundi na mwewa mupasi. I don't know. It's up to the voters. And then George. George is a miracle baby. Sikira kubiranga sapi. Bali kwa ni kubir. So he might be re-elected because he has his strong points and he really has a connection with the grassroots. Then we have Tutimara, which has the highest rural voter registration, Mungeti. Of course, urban the two municipalities here. Primary, no, Moi primary, the two are the highest.
And the
D being Nasoma in 1969. But rural, Mungeti. So in some way, Tutumarakaru is a different cluster from township and a different cluster from the two Bukembes and the two Sangalas. So it's complex, and whoever dominates the two Sangalas and the two the two Bukembes may just usually hobi babano na was ulinende Webuye East and Webuye West.
In the West.
Webuye West has been dominated over 3 terms by Mheshimiwa Omu Salvation Army Dan Sitati Wanyama. Social media chiro moncho bandu barama bali baruyo kako. Hata when we were doing the election petition, I was a lawyer for Dan Wanyama. Hata khora kwa ambuka khora karita bali ne bachaka huku pachirali bali by election. Okabulira bali by election hii. Chipati jindala cha mbayo na muima cha ka huku campaign. Of course, omuntu kwika wange Keri Barasa wa Lubengo lost the election petition and Dan survived. Dan is from the dominant Techo clan. Bakiranga onga elections cholane ba mweumba kabisa. Mara ba Techo bano balisa kuruchi Rwanzo ya bantu mara ba panga sa
Beblo
bofu bonda mara si kwenyumba ama. Kusole ilikuwa America nende chisilingi wasi bali Humphrey. Wakula ho. Ne kuchamuka nisane kurusha shilingi 600. Mana abachindi kwarekere mwito kakali mstawa chakaira shilingi cha Mheshimiwa mwenye kukacha anga ati mama kwa governor. Kusipe munwa huru mama kwa Kechi constituency.
Yes.
And remember, this is a competition for control of resources and the distribution of resources and opportunities. No, Webuye East, Webuye West, you know, chene chiwodi chine, ukoli, ya sunduku wabali sitiho, ya misihu, ya madamu. It's gone a little quiet and I don't know why. Wandaewa Hendrix, you know, bamuraba. Omukoko ino misihu, karusiayo the only omunambo mu county assembly Mwembe. Amupasi.
In fact, there was a time DAPK walikuwa nasema wanataka kumsimamisha women rep.
Nani huyo?
That lady.
Mili Masungu.
Yes.
Milia. Milia is a good friend of mine. Misihu is complex because it's partly urban, partly rural. And then there's a rich mix of Vatachoni, Babukusu, and so on and so forth. Visiho is complex. I hope Milia survives and is re-elected. She's good. She's gone rather quiet, and I don't know why.
Pressure kwa ground iko mingi.
DVC nyona chitabu sana. Ni chingira chimpi paka kukwena kutaracha. It used to have a man whose word was the law. Ka Mamundi Visumomo. Alfred Sam. Do the three MCS in Webuye East hold the same sway that Alfred Wekesa Sambu held those days? I don't know. I don't know.
I doubt.
I don't know. You don't write them off. Yeah. Who is the MCA for DVC? I want to encourage him to join the other high density wards to push for a motion in the county assembly to change the criteria for allocation of CEF so that DVC gets at least 50 million CEF annually. Let them join with Kimilili ward, with Kabuchai ward, with DVC, with Malakisi, Kulisuru, Luandany. All those above 16,000 voters and above. They are motion to bind the hand of the CEC for finance. No ho kama chisilingi cha CEF cha kanende Kimilili 75 million. Oje these other 50 million and so on and so forth. And DVC should be one of those that get a little more. And then has go yes enyole 20 million. And
population yenu iko
chini sana ha geography ha welu hajasi. Of course Lusena sana support bintu ivana vyote. And wakili from Hasoko of course will fight it. But wengi wape wachache wasikie. Let them debate the issue, but I would really want to see equitable distribution of resources.
There are words that I would like you to also weigh in, just do an analysis on the possibilities of the incumbents, like Kimilili ward.
Yes.
And there's another one.
Kimilili is led by Mario, Kapasi, Bingi, the musician.
Yes,
Juakali. You know, while Juakali is a personal friend, but I thought I celebrated the increase of women leadership in Bungoma County Assembly when she won. There's another one, Cheskaki, female elected.
Cheskaki.
In Elgon, Kapkateli.
But I think that was in the previous.
Right now, who is the MCA for Cheskaki? You can quickly check. That is Mount Elgon. Mount Elgon has 6 wards, and I think one of them is female. I am gender biased. Every time a lady is elected, my heart warms up. I celebrate it.
Cheskaki MCA.
Yes.
This one should be.
So while you're looking through it, let's have more women in leadership at the county assembly, and let's see more of them in the leadership of the house.
Jacob Sero.
I'm wrong. It could be Elgon or Kapkateng, who has a female MCA. So I told you that Mount Elgon will vote the way President Ruto will tell them to vote.
Yes.
Wahachawa baeresia chinjuku kama kunya kenga. Wata sahono mukasi hungate seba panga na wenyata bapanga William Ruto. So that is a linear.
Or rather, mekusiama sia William.
Yeah. Lakini umanye there was a time where Serut Kadifaya women Venevio Maraka he was elected. Not necessarily what the national formation
there's,
wanted.
there's always that the politics of Hanevenkaki, this downside.
No. I lived in Cheptais for 3 years, 2 of which I was a teacher. I know that they are fairly homogeneous in their thinking. Where we have a polling station called Lorot, Pakasi, Asi Huicha, Kaputenya, and those that border Sirisi, including a polling station called Nalondo in Cheptais ward. Ever heard of it? As a minority. So there is that. Have we done an hour?
Yes.
We passed it? So we should now shut up.
No, we are just doing well.
Okay, shoot. You are concerned about the wards? Which ones again?
There's this one, Maini.
Maini was led by Mai Florence. She was toppled by the current MCA. We have somebody who goes by the name Mrongo is this
Kibingei, yeah. But the person who mine is a young guy.
Yeah. But now there are 3 other. There's not Savimbi. There's somebody there who is causing
Saddam.
Yes, Saddam. You know him?
Saddam is someone, I don't know, recently he caused a lot of havoc around there. And when I published, someone told me that he's threatening to come for me. And I'm like, okay.
No, Saddam is a good friend of mine. So is Hocha, former MCO in Bakalovana. Yes, Bethwell Fuamba. Bethwell Fuamba has told me he's seeking re-election, and I wish him well. It was a mistake for him to seek to be elected as an MP in the last elections. It is, I think, correct and strategic and wise for him to seek re-election in Bakaro, because he had established serious networks. All he needs to do is check how he aligns himself with the county-wide formation, the national formation, and the dominant political party around Tongaren. Tongaren has 6 wards, Bakalo being one of them. Tongaren is complex because it has very unique challenges in roads, bridges. It is extremely productive, but it does not feel that it gets its fair share of revenue allocation from the county and from national government. But now we have these 100 million shillings in the budget books. Kilometer chitaru kwama ukuyuni paka wine paka huramu wa mfupi. Is it about 2.5 kilometers? So my friend John Chikati has done well in Hukwesa Ije Wewe. He is the only member of parliament from this region, including Vihiga Busia, who sits in the committee that is called Budget and Appropriation Committee. Yengen namukundi ali nonoke kamekile ko karera abwe nao nende vi housing vi you have chakumba how vi kidogo mu KMTC Tongareni kwene
No, those ones are hostels maybe.
Eba chakumba aba bana bamenyenge yonge namwena wabona ko sindi emwaro wefwe ta and there is a small mama ring narrative ha Bungoma South, yani Bumura nende Kandui combined. Bali babereho excluded from Vivindi. Wiba kilo soba namwata bamwatata, and there was a thinking that they should just force their way into the governorship. the narrative, according to them, is that the leadership of the county does not include or can do for that matter. Senator nandi senator kama anambaya bali ai bali na bambinganya hapo na ndine speaker kama rwabo kolya ndine deputy speaker bali Stephen Wama kama rwe basungu muskini ndine governor kameki ndine deputy bali kama Mount Elgon bali ne bibindu bindi abo birala bali andi ato bakuwako nono okaba kisilingi CEC finance nanda hani CEC finance na kusale kwase kutacho ni barasa kwa memisi bali andi bakuwako sintu sindi na, but you see there are very few spaces, so they feel left out of the county leadership. No mbingi Dennis nyongeza na virikike rusisi kwa makosi ya kumuroko kwitikiye kwasi bali yezi Kenya ko bakugawa lakini emwale yiwasi allow me to speak about this.
Yes.
Dennis na viriki my good friend Zakaria Barasa Sium Professor Ruketer wangamati yesi anywesi ya muruji mano Kocha wangamati yesi anywesi ya muruji mano is considered a Bungoma South person.
Yes.
No. Rure morwe endengeho kamarwa. Rue Bungoma South. Kandui and Bumu. Chisere chilimo munane. Marabiko to biri. So ina filter kidogo. Rusekerwa Zakaria Barasa, rusekerwa Dennis nyongeza na viriki, rusekerwa Professor Ketero, rusekerwa bandu bano boss bamenene nyongeza amenyira sirtanya kilikamene timu enyo nyali akaria yesi aramo ruse mundenge hungene.
Yes,
as he does others. Ne mbingi hatu kuika Didmas Barasa rusekerwa ngako embanga endengeko yanga ki rusekerula ruongen mara hachomole ru sikot harre kanywa bifu ne kama sifu onyo akomerali ubandu babiri ba no muhenya ina hando hano anya ngapu sura nanu hano wa hanu lendeke bele kha nyo bira khali nyaba kabi clips. Oh. So those are the dynamics, but the new entrant is also causing waves. Mheshimiwa team was brought in a week band very bamanyelisi name recognition. In a month band very excited about his candidates. In 3 months band very bachakire kuba holoyo kurwa bachichanga yone bali bindu ne baloyo na mwese manyata. But he did what other candidates take 3-4 years to do. He did it in 3 months. Nenyanje kolanga ebb and flow. We hope that it doesn't start flowing back to the sea before 2027. Avena asili and that umaarufu and popularity. So he's a credible candidate, so there will be 4 front runners: Didmas, Kocha Wangamati, team, and somebody from Bungoma South. Most likely Didmas, Barasa, Zakaria, and my very good friend Dennis Nyongeza.
What chances does Mheshimiwa team have? Because there are talks that he might go independent, he might buy on Ford Kenya. Which of the two inampatia a better chance?
Kwa Bungoma Kukuima ovire governor, you require a minimum of 200,000 votes. Lusaka 1 was elected by about that number. Hocha Wangamati was elected by just above 200,000. This time we are going to have a minimum of 3 strong candidates. Strong in terms of regional loyalty, the party networks, and the existing leadership influence and control. Nono hunyora about 200,000 votes from 9 constituencies. They would divide quickly. When you have an average of what per constituency?
From 200. I don't know, about
let's say, let's make it roughly 10 into 200. That is about 10,000 average. 10,000 times 10 constituencies, you get what? 100. Yes, so you want 200. You want 20,000 votes. Ebumura ochunle 20. Mount Elgon 20. Kandu 20. Wengene ya? Webuye East 20. Then you stand in a good place to go over the 200,000 votes. Who is that one person who can do that amongst the current candidates? I don't know. But I have seen a poll that was conducted 2 weeks after Team Wanyonyi launched, and he seemed to be nearing 164,000. The extrapolation of the statistics, followed closely by Didmas and Hocha Wangamati, who was not very active. He was doing what I call vector politics through the very lethal Professor Ngome, Nioche Masika, Nioche in social groups and so on. So Hocha was sort of holding back. So he wasn't hitting the 90,000 at that time. And the other candidates were also featuring, but a little less. So allow me to break the rules and protocols. The curve for Team Wanyonyi went very fast, up to about 164,000-65,000. There seems to be a planning or plateauing of his approval ratings across the county. Instead of growth, it is plateauing. Will these other candidates overtake him? It will depend on all sorts of things, and one of them will be the answer to the question. How will the front runner align himself with national politics? In Bungoma, it may suppress your numbers, voter numbers, if you associate yourself with certain national formations. But it may also boost your numbers if you associate with certain formations in the county. For some of them, it may be a kiss of death. Nojaga huku impoli party fulani olisene nefu lisi atilifanari. It may be a kiss of death, or it may boost your numbers. Sikira hunyo sachikura 200,000. Maraso oli in a dominant political party. The only person who has ever succeeded in doing that was Lusaka 1. Lusaka 1 kanyora chikura chinkali sana mara. He had something called an X factor. Yani X factor so nyara wamanya hubere sisiama horo region na mwesinata. But people just voted for him anyway, across clans, regions, and political. Newford Kenya. Yes. Who knew Newford Kenya? Lusaka too built on his previous successes, but he also was in a dominant political formation, county-wise, at that time, which puts wind in his sail. Makhakara, kapasi Hoja Wangamati. Hoja Wangamati received a boost from Ford Kenya 2017. Karusheyo Governor Lusaka won.
And I think also Wakili, at that time Mheshimiwa Wetangula was also enjoying a lot of support because he was doing opposition politics then.
So you think it is it boosts your numbers in a county-wide position if you rebel?
Yes.
So there's premium in rebellion. Exactly. So you would advise candidates to rebel the way Ruto rebelled against Uhuru.
It is much more easier. We are not used to being in government. So here, I think whoever is operating moving from the opposition side into election has an easier task than whoever is in government.
Don't you think Tim Wanyonyi has played extremely brilliant politics in Chwele Capital by saying nothing?
It does. Even today at Bunge nimeona kuna watu wale supporters wa Didmas wanasema they are very furious at him.
But for doing what?
Why did he go to Chwele?
Senda kubora andiko. Buremo ndo Didmas yarere mu Rusik. Mara si kotomba. Rusik ruwewe ruogere ruri. You need to think about that. Niene ndeveno balimo mukhasaji khatiti khari chikura cha kandu inele. Maromanyezi ali khomone khaseke.
Alimu.
Onyo akhumera mulalasi. Mulalasi.
Oli ali khonende
arakaru sisi khosikot. So you know Bungoma had better know that while he has certain challenges, but the regional politics may outweigh the fact that he comes from Kimilili. And his theatrics, even if they are not meaningful, but the chianda angamunga nakanimwe grassroots.
But he tackles that so well. He says,
even more. You know, it sticks. Messaging is key. Is king. You know, all those things. You know, he coaches his messaging in that. Are the grassroots in Bungoma ready for a Tim Wanyonyi stewardship of their resources? There's a large section of Bungoma grassroots that think the non-abrasiveness, the quiet middle of the road approach of Tim Wanyonyi endears him to the grassroots quite a bit. Sikira bandu banalireho sisi ayumba siye kamaya. Tim is in some way like Governor Lusaka. Niye why when Governor Lusaka niye si ayumba silikwe. Either he avoids going there or he melts away. No, in some way Tim ari. Barasa Siuma Zagaria. There is an anchor here who thinks that rebellion earns you numbers.
Yes.
I don't think so. You must now start to listen to the grassroots and know what messaging sticks in their mind up to the ballot box. Yes.
Not rebellion per se, but just being a critic of the government. As you critique the government, you are talking on behalf of the people, but who are the majority.
But Hoja Wangamati is not rebelling against anything.
No, in fact, he said he's not going to critique.
His strength is in what he did visibly.
Right.
Nisio omwere oesikhasi, you know, the people who move goods and services on roads within the town and otherwise. Feel and see every day. The dual carriageway, despite its challenges, it has stuck in the minds of Baban who move goods and services. The 6.4 dual carriageway. The mother and child hospital. brick and mortar, although it has not been equipped. The stadium substantially was done under his leadership. Nende chingira chichindi chingalipsa. So that is his strength rather than his being rebel of sorts. Perhaps now he might want to be a rebel against the established forces, but that is where his strength is. But the fact that there is a counter narrative here, kamabeleke koloba, was nachuhanga kama echihuirungeti wewe ngire khalinda candidacy. So he needs to craft a message to counter that.
There was a time he took on Mheshimiwa Wetangula, and I don't know, maybe my judgment was wrong.
That was unwise. I don't think so.
It was not going down well with some of his supporters.
Yeah, that was very ill advised, not strategic, because there are people who like Wetangula, who also might want to vote for Wangamat. What do you do to this number when you insult Honorable Wetangula? Because politics was ekura serime dukondo. Wabukura so ekura ni omundu kapire warora moro. Obona ko dukondo ro omundu kwe. Serimo dukondo. You don't know where your numbers come from. But you can sort of estimate that to reach 200,000 voters. Hata bandu balala be mu Fort Kenya kene bakupi. Wahara ko bano oli mu Fort Kenya. No, chano homa Fort Kenya babsoli Lusaka. Lusaka is a brilliant political strategist. Sa chaho ni kama tusikamwe amba. Sa chaho imakurata. But he's very strategic in his approach and engagement with the grassroots. Hata na chaho ndo nie amanyali kama wakali kama tinyu kabisa. He will not make pronouncements that alienate the base of that audience, Dawe, or the party, or even his opponents. So much so that in Lusaka 1, even people who didn't know too much about it voted for him. In Lusaka 2, he rode on largely the dominant political party, but he has managed, urahabali impeachment. Asimianga sagumuri. As mundunga horane bam so asikumbe mino. You can't so mirata so kujata ne vya impeachment bwela bwena. Wawulira kwe. Yes. So he's extremely clever, and there are lessons to be learned from him. So
but I think even Papua Roma has assisted him as well by whipping
his
party.
Yes.
Not to be tough on him, and especially maybe during the first meeting, you know, like that Courier induction. That is where Weta was there.
Was a higher hole. So now induction in year 1, Yahoo insulate against impeachment. The management of the threat of impeachment is a continuous exercise. But
no, it
is continuous in this.
And the whipping
was a new Baba 2022. Have at MCS vakebulira side. MCS sai nibo bali ko bahola chi contract. Cha CEF. Otira ho bakahunyola. Omuha kama sikama. No. Was libonda heli khamse wase ende toto hela sa ko ku enjikura. Onyana wakara kama ko ke ku impeach governor.
Sawa.
So you, the informal media, the conventional media, and the civil society have an extra duty to ensure oversight of the way the serikali ya county inafanya, because eneno ya forwards the county assembly is now if I know release a sixth finger. It looks like a finger, looks like oversight. It feels like a finger, but it has no functional role. Munja. Sai wa ulira khosabali bali khana mundu Kenya he MCA kabora wewe gavana ho horabi hakuna kitu kama. Enji kura ya birira mu county assembly nanu nende nafasi ya kubora ibintu bya impeachment. Enywe media wakana kemu na mwesi civil society. So and give it to Governor Lusaka. While he has not, shown substantive milestones in development, except Hakira ha Brigadier and a few other things. But he has perfected the art of political survival. Muru chirwe chikwena cha Bungoma. Onyora ni chirumo mundu ni baranga bali lusaka. So he will survive and he will influence the choices that people make in 2027 for who is governed.
Yeah, but actually, I remember there was a time Nyoti kept on telling us that we wait for Lusaka to give us direction. And I thought maybe that one would not go down well with the...
That's another young man who knows how to survive in the political formation of the Omwana Manoyu, Kabechanga office assistant wa Councillor Henry Nyongesa, kumumura kusoko. Mara Henry kecha kan complain na 2013 kecha kan complain na mwana ino ka bero sikufu kanu mali takenie andi sese Henry Nyongesa sina birekura so nabonewe mwasimana ne Lusaka so saba ko Lusaka ka mwasi it is me nawe wa memo mwana ino nende na mkhano kundi bali Veronica watamu na amrerano Lusaka so andika abantu baneka Lusaka dino Eric Nyoti alisikira si andi umuntu wo ino New Ford Kenya ino so mujenge Henry Nyongesa abantu bano babewe ni wa mwandikira ko bantu I don't know why Henry Nyongesa didn't go directly to Lusaka. That was the beginning of an upward journey by Henry Nyongesa who recently last week was conferred with a master's degree.
Nyoti.
I mean Eric Nyoti. Conferred with something. Governor Lusaka nikakwekura ka cha Senate. Kura under his wing. Kamujenga kabisa. Ngakabirire rundi na mukura muheresi ekasi niye bando bandi ba kina mutaki bakora. Chief protocol. Ingawa semvona ngasa kumule ichikanisa. Namu ambona habundo. How did you know ekasi yewe niyo bamwe protocol? Tawe protocol kucheka na nuko icha kubona. Ora lingira ne wewe ta. Ni kwandikete na kutola bakora.
Omwami, there's been a concern about those Mheshimiwa Wetangula always mentions Simbokava yet ya kucha kunyola chikasi, especially national government.
Yes.
There's a feeling down here on the ground that those people are not so as helpful the people, and that is why I now want to pose the question: do you think that these people are adding value to?
Give me 3 examples.
They have PS Juma for starters. He mentioned quite a few the other day.
What is your proof that Juma Mwana was given this PS position courtesy of the political leadership?
There is no proof, but he mentioned, what Mheshimiwa Wetangula mentioned as late as I think 3 days ago or so.
Because Edward Kisiangani complained about being fought, even before his appointment, being fought. And he was very bitter with the section of the leadership in national government for fighting to prevent his being appointed. I don't know about Juma. But Juma Mwana is just one principal secretary. To my knowledge, Mheshimiwa Wetangula has using his influence and hand as Minister for Foreign Affairs, as Minister for Trade and Industry, and currently as Speaker of the National Assembly. He was previously that he was leader of minority in the Senate. He over time when he was Minister for Foreign Affairs, Mr. Kukwama abokoli kunoba na wamoto ambassador mat wamoto Kamwira in all sorts of positions in the Ministry, Department of Foreign Affairs, and Kacha, South Africa, Congo. These ambassadors, yes, Masafu,
wa West ama na kwanga wanani?
Bungoma West. I am not sure.
No, West FM.
I'm not sure. Let me tell you an anecdote. In the 2013 election campaign, there was no Sulwe. Was there Sulwe? Sulwe hachakata. But or if it had started, you needed to go to Nairobi. Na ilikuwa haijapata umaarufu yenye iko nayo sasa. Ile radio station yenye ilikuwa na umaarufu ilikuwa ni gani? West FM. Ya Dr. Masafu nende wanda ya Cyprian. To get 30 minutes of airtime on West FM, you needed to pay 500,000. I know because Mheshimiwa Wetangula asked me to schedule for him somewhere in February. 30 minutes. He was asked to pay 500,000 and he paid. That is what made him come out bitterly and establish Nyota FM.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm digressing. Dr. Masafu niye Hemoloma Inosai has formed a political party and is inviting people to seek to be elected on that political party.
Is he still in an ambassador?
No. His tenure ended. He's back. He's doing his private business. But I think there is an additional option to DAPK and Ford Kenya and ODM and Angati Kamboda Kenya
is likely to use ODM.
So there is that political party. That political party, yeah, Dr. Masafu. So the response I wanted to give you is, I have my doubts whether Dr. Masafu was posted to DRC because of the influence of the dominant political leadership in Bungoma, given the history that I just told you. Mheshimiwa Wetangula was felt very young, very unfair to be asked to pay 500,000. Kuro mawasajiro mochitaka shasala sita. Na hapo mzuri habora kulehe.
Battery na information. Okay. Iko sawa? So Mheshimiwa, my question still remains. Bandu liba appoint lebano. Bandu liba ulanga in court simbo. But in government.
I will tell you. I don't know about the present appointments, but I know that in 2013, when he was Minister for Trade, and I was chairman of his campaign committee, I requested a personal favor. Nabolera Mheshimiwa na Ministry of Trade. It has a number of parastatals, amongst them EPZ, Export Processing Authority, stationed in Kathri, fairly influential parastatal state corporation under the Ministry of Trade. He had just come from Nation Media, Unga Limited, and so he was the general manager. He didn't have a job, and I said, you know, Wetangula without hesitation appointed him. You don't look over your shoulder. Without blinking, now I'm like a managing director was EPZ. For about 3 years. Who took over from Wetangula? Trade?
I don't
Kama ena mwateja. Mheshimiwa Wetangula, and this is a breach of confidentiality, complained to me a little. Alimana mkweo seanje tuleho Bungoma politics. I think that was the expectation. So that is something I personally perceived. You know, Mkwasi Siri Nabutola is a technocrat par excellence and a man of integrity. He is unfamiliar with politics. Haku understand assignment. He did a brilliant job at EPZ.
Politically, he was miserable.
and Mheshimiwa told me, well, okay, so it's possible. There are people who have been appointed by Mheshimiwa Wetangula, but who didn't understand the assignment. And did not play that. Pamone Geoffrey Ruku kukwaberenge MP Mbeere North. Kuria kupanga busa musiwanja Mbeere kosine kupajiromo.
Yes.
The former governor of Mombasa naitwa ne?
Joe.
Ali Joe. Cabinet minister. Ali kupanga samu Kilifi yeyo na aboda bandu ali ODM. And so on and so forth. There are ministers and Honorable Wetangula mwenyewe anatembea na empowerment all over. He's feathering his nest for 2027. If Ruto is re-elected, he will remember that Honorable Wetangula risked ridicule in the house where he is leader to go and campaign for the KK. What business does Honorable Wetangula have personally in all the places he has been going? No bandu wakaraba pemuno bali bali ta, but there he is solidifying his connections with the national formation. In the likely event, I don't know who is going to be elected president, whether it is Kenya Kwanza or the United Opposition or Edwin Sifuna's third force. Kenya moja. So we don't know who is going to be elected, but whoever is elected, Honorable Wetangula is a good midfielder in politics. Control a winning and quietly. So you think you can wish him away? Gen Zs, go and take your voters card. They
are doing so miserably.
How many have enrolled?
2,000.
Now we are going to 700,000 voters. Come and add 200,000 votes. Kunamba. The old money, the old politics of Bungoma. Without which, Gen Z, you're just making noise. I'm sorry. And you'll still be controlled through and through, except I encourage them to seek leadership positions. MCA, FA generation FA, SSND, Erika ya Lusaka, ya Wangamati, ya Wamunyi, engene Erika yes. Hata Juma mwana ino, ikecha niye mundu engeho, harambikire masika na mwaru, that is a nice guy. Lakini Erika ended. No, lole FA, ukoya kwanga ngana nende babana befu. My firstborn is 40 years. Ukoya kwa computer ne nabo sai. Na we need to make way for the next generation of leadership. At the beginning of our discussion, we discussed starting from the 1960s. Yes. That is all gone. The second generation Yakina Lawrence, it's all gone. My very good friend Musaki Tui, I think he's considering staying away from politics. He's gone rather quiet as spokesman for Kenya Kwanza. I don't know. But that is one brilliant human being. And the guest you had yesterday, Professor Nyukuri, I sent you a text and said he is one of the best thinkers coming from Bungoma. Of course, Hannibal Hassan always claims the same thing. But we don't agree on many things. And even if I disagree with you, I will always defend your right to say things that I don't like. That's my attitude.
Nimeona wacha tusome hapa comments.
Soma tu.
My phone went off. Wacha tuangalie hapa. Naona kuna we have been we've been around for some time.
2 hours.
This is good, but like in such conversations, it is just it is not a scripted conversation. We have handled some very. I think we need to have more of this.
Oh, I'm always available.
Always available. Let me just check the comments so that we can
bring it to a close. Is it still live?
Yeah.
Can't. It's not on updates. It's on something else.
On updates, we are live on updates. We are very live. We are live. I'm seeing several comments. So,
comments or questions?
Let's see. All right. So,
you're looking for them?
When I was asking who is not now, this is the biggest mistake we did as voters by
excuse me, coming back.
By uniting these guys, we don't have any oversight. I think that is OT anaongelea ma MCS. OT anaongelea Paul Otieno anaongelea ma MCS. Yeah. So guys, nataka tu we just take time, we run through zile questions zenye zitakuwa, we will ask our guests to react to them, right? But mostly I will just be reading some of the comments. Sorry, my laptop had gone off. My phone is off, so I'm gonna washa tu hii laptop so that tuone hizi ma comments. Naona mtu amesema deep analysis. All right.
So any questions? Or
you know Evelyn Wekesa?
Yes, I do. She's the chief officer.
Yes.
Well, used to be public administration.
Evelyn Wekesa says this guy is an admirable acumen. A very interesting discussion.
In Lusaka 1 administration,
yes,
it was thought that somebody was undermining the authority of the chief of staff then. But what we did as SDU then, we wanted to transfer financial and administrative authority from the east wing of the governor's office to the west wing, which is the political wing of the governor's office. And we wanted to have a chief officer to control finances of the governor's vote head. That person that we proposed was Evelyn Wekesa. It created a little bit of friction, but ultimately Lusaka 2 recognized the value of that and placed her in fairly sensitive roles, including acting chief officer for roads for a while.
Correct.
Yeah, so that is a person I really admire, and she's an important influence in the governance of Bungoma County.
And then Eric Wambasi anasema thank you Makhakara, so good. George Murutu Baraza anasema very sober presentation. Oti amerudi hapa anasema bwana wakili.
Oteba.
No, this is somebody called Paul Otieno. Anafanya kaya taxi pale stage. Anasema bwana wakili, thank you so much for giving us facts. Hao wadosi wanatupima bangi tu. I think this is on level 6. He's so passionate, anaongeaka sana je level 6. Yeah, aoni vile level 6 inaenda sichei.
Yes. It might go. You can never know. Influence is influence.
Yes. Pass my greetings to my good friend Wakili Dennis Maunda.
Dennis Maunda, huyo hapa ngambo. Wangamati 1.
Yes. Ndirikiwa Mo anasema Kuliboreke Papa. Ready to listen. I think that was before we started. Agri na Misi.
Yes, mwalimu. National official of NAT.
Yes. Amekuwa anafuatilia. Following you Akili. You represented me well. Yes. CBC case 2017.
Yes, I remember. In Nairobi.
This is good. Mwalimu, if you are still following, asante sana. There's Magdalene Maramara. See, this is Karo.
Yes, that is Karo. Yes, Maramara. We were with her at Lukoba.
Yes.
Yes, she's from Mkuyuni.
Unajua mimi namjua na jina Karo.
Na ni wakili. Anasoma uwakili sasa.
Ya Omusilikwa.
That is
my legal role model.
Asante.
Moffat Saini Dio.
Yes, he was in cooperatives, but I'm sure he's in government administration.
He's a DO. He was either an
and
ACC
very influential. In 2013, alikuwa anasimamia alikuwa mabodaboda yote
transport sector, I think.
And he was very powerful. Still is, and he has good thoughts.
My senior counsel and chief advisor, a man I respect to my bones. His astute and demeanor is top-notch. A true celebrated son of our motherland. Asante Omwami Edu. Huyu nimeweza kukuletea wakili hapa, na utakuja pia ukuje nyumbani, ukuje tukuite hapa useme maneno. Salimia wakili Dennis Posita.
That is my Mokwasi, Mhachonge.
Okay.
The family of my Rosemary.
Don Okaka anasema
wakili.
Pitia huku. Anaita mwenzake. Wanjekeche
is now a strategist for Humphrey.
He is?
Yes.
Okay, anasema watching keenly. Then Ted Wahungu.
Ted is from South Bukusu. He is a banker in KCB. In Kisumu. We work with him in social responsibility. The Bumula professionals that houses the bursary.
Ted says, Honorable Makhakara Sivia, the best MP Bumula never had.
I will never do. Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Tatayas.
So then we have Mamai Rogers, Makhakara Salumu Vita.
Except?
KSC Maru Kalitu. One day he told me I don't entertain university students. Now can't fully entertainment composition.
I don't remember such things. But Rogers, please do come and let's have a cup of tea. Let's have a cup of tea.
Ben Wanjala says, thanks Advocate Makhakara for updates of Bungoma. Amtala Martin, wakili himself.
Amtala Martin from up here. Yeah, the Machios. That was a very close friend of mine.
Matobana, we still mourn mom. Pole sana. Moses Dismas wakala huyu ni former MCA. On point Omwami
Namwera.
Paul tena anasema this is the biggest mistake we made. Hii ile nilikuwa nishasoma.
The biggest mistake gani?
Hii ni nafikiri ni MCS. This is the biggest mistake that we did as voters. By uniting all these guys, we don't have any oversight. So I think an address members of the county.
That one landed,
Hii itakuwa the talk of the town tomorrow. Paul tena anasema ati Edu Kiswahili na Kiingereza kidogo ni nashukuru.
Leader of opposition in small parties.
This is Paul Oti, the same guy ulimkwambia anafanya taxi na Kahaya.
I'm sorry.
I think ile time tulikuwa tunaongea kibukusi kidogo ikampita. Oti usijali, hiyo tunachanganya kidogo pia watu yetu.
Kiswahili yangu ni mbovu, si nzuri.
Ati Didmas will be the governor Huyu ni Dennis Posita.
Dennis Poster sells tuk-tuks at Mzee Patrick Wangamati's building along Kandui Road. Muende huko mnunue matuk-tuk kabisa. Mkwasi ni.
Former MCA Moses Dismas anasema KMTC is in Mukuyuni. So it means that road in separate the two wards, ama?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's why I asked you, do you know where it is?
I don't know much about your ward ya huko. Mimi natembea huko sasa, naenda kutafuta habari ama nimeitwa ugeni.
Sijua, that's home.
So Polycarp Wanjekeche anauliza actually.
Polycarp?
Porcupine, sorry. Porcupine Wanjekeche Isaac anauliza Webuye West parliamentary seat and ward politics.
Alitaka tuongelee hiyo.
Maybe you didn't go deeper in the parliamentary seat. I know why he's asking this question because
he's the chief strategist for Humphrey.
Not Lendrix.
Sorry, for Lendrix.
Yes,
for Lendrix. Lendrix was picked. He does not seem to be growing his numbers. New entrants are taking away his strongholds, including Humphrey. So we don't know how he'll fare unless he, increases his momentum. Lendrix, came on a platform of community empowerment, where he heavily funded all sorts of things in sports, arts, culture, and that's not sustainable. It's expensive. You cannot sustain it. He needs to change his message and endear himself across the four wards. Humphrey has come in strong and seems to be amongst the top three. Kelly Barasa Walubengo must have gone back to America. The election petition was very and Porcupine was chief strategist. Nende omuntu kuika owabe changenzo ya inovanam. He also wanted to anyway, he needs to reinsert himself in the space of the BOS, change his messaging, reduce the expenditure on community outreach. You can't sustain that for the remaining 2 years. Or Runduha, Governor Lusaka would say, so mihuti. You can't run that fast for that long, using so many resources.
So Dennis Poster anauliza swali, ask wakili, how do these politicians recover money they use during campaigns, especially in Kapchai? Is it the reason why they end up awarding themselves tenders and corrupt deals?
He has answered himself.
To recover what they use.
That is the answer. Mkwasi Dennis. That is the answer. If you are going to earn 1 million for 12 months, that is 12 million times 5 is 60 million. And you use 100 million in your campaign. The only way of recovering your expenditure is by corrupt practices. By corrupt practices. Yeah.
Bado tumepata KFTC iko Mkuyuni. Sirisi ya ino ndenyanga nipime vusa was. We are getting tired. Huyu ni former MCA huyu Moses
Wakala. I think. But Nangulu is very strong on the ground. They were even proposing that he challenges Walu, which would be unwise. Yeah.
At this time.
Yeah, and at this time. And I would advise people who want to feature in political competition to make their decisions in February 2027. When it comes to time, energy and resources. Increase the momentum around February of 2020. I remember leading a campaign in 2013 on behalf of Mheshimiwa Moses Wetangula, county-wide. from December 2012, Mheshimiwa Moses Wetangula was a Minister for Trade, and very little was known of him in the grassroots in December. We started his campaign on 4th December 2012 at the Zoya Guest House, where I called all bishops, the House of Bishops, across all denominations, to inform him which seat he should vie for. And that was the day he decided to vie for Senate.
Okay.
Because he was under the impression that Senate is the upper house. Of course, later on, Lusaka, they used to have beefs with Lusaka, and Lusaka told him, ese wakubolera hucha moteri huranga pilau. Ese sinanyacha naranga engo hone busu. Na become a governor. No ukupasa vita ya wewe mwenyewe unaenda kwa hoteli ya siasa ukachagua nini? Pilau. Na hapo unazo hoi kura pilau chanata. No unchi chezeze. You remember there was a beef hapa kwa hospitali at one time.
That one we know Weta alikuwa akitoka juu ananipigia simu.
Yes.
Ambia tukutane members. Tukitoka members hapa tunateremka hospitali.
Yeah.
Those days.
So it is possible to save your money, time and energy up to early 2027. So I just make nominal appearances. People need to know your name, people need to know your message, people need to know what strengths. But you can do that in 3 months for MCA. Ohabanga Mheshimiwa before he had his own style. In 2013, he had started the campaign kitambo, using pikipiki and 504 yake hiyo. So that one worked for Mheshimiwa before, a long spread out campaign. But he was very careful on expenditure. But it got him name recognition, and brand loyalty and excitement.
So finally George Baraza amekusalimia. Amekusalimia wakili.
Huyu George wangu huyo. Jina ingine ni George nani?
Murutu Baraza.
Ni George.
Anaitwa Georges.
Bas. Mwenye alikuwa pia wa Mhongo?
Yes.
Bas. Salimia huyo mtu ni mtu wangu.
So wakili, we can now wrap up. Maybe you can say something on Kabuchai by-election.
I think I did, but I can repeat it.
As you do your closing remark.
Kabuchai is not about Eric Wekesa and Vincent Maunga, both who are my friends. The implications of the outcome tomorrow, in tomorrow's election, goes beyond even the county. Can you imagine if Vincent Maunga lost the election? What President Ruto would think when forming the government if he's elected president? Do you know what he would think? And by the way,
you think Weta is weak?
Yeah. He would think, and there was a time he said very nasty things about Weta when they were not yet in a political coalition.
Yes.
Some very untidy things. And if President Ruto notices you're weak, now who pagumza politically? Mheshimiwa Wetangula cannot afford to lose the by-election in his backyard, in his ward. What is considered to be the political hotbed of Ford Kenya politics and Bungoma as well in general. So the outcomes of tomorrow will have very specific implications for the power structure, either including the leadership of Bungoma or excluding it. That's what I can say. Yes.
So maybe we can wrap up now. So thank you very much, our followers. Oh man, stima ndio imetupotelea tena. So tunaweza good. So maybe we can just end it there. Acha tusizimiwe tena na stima. Thank you very much Wakili for joining us today.
Always a pleasure.
I hope that we will have time with you again. Tupange ya mapema kidogo sasa this time round so that we don't keep you out late.
I came here an hour early.
Oh, pole sana.
But that's okay.
Tulikuwa tumetoka bunge, sasa tukachelewa kufika hapa kidogo, but guys, thank you very much and have a good night. Kesho tuone vile tutawaletea updates za Kapchai hapa kwa Ikwe updates on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you very much and have a good night. Baba, asante.
Adieu.
Just end it.
How many people are viewing?
Mm.
You didn't look at YouTube. You need to shift completely.
I need to shift.